On this discussion segment is all about the place of effective opposition in governance, especially in Edo State. We have a new sheriff in town. According to so many persons, he's been impressive, really, really impressive because of the way he started. The question now is, will he be able to sustain it? That's a question in the heart and mind of so many Edo citizens and of course so many Nigerians, because they are watching in Nigeria and of course in the diaspora. They're saying the way this man started, well, good, can they sustain it? On the other hand, they're now asking, now since we have APC in the hands of affairs, can the PDP of the state work as an effective watchdog to make sure that things are done accordingly and in order as it should be? After all, once there is a party in power, we have to have this balancing trend, a form of individuals, political party that will serve as a watchdog and effective opposition to make sure that the government of the day do not go astray. Now that is the concept, or will I say what to take a look at on this particular discussion segment. With me here in the studio is a clergyman, public affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Bishop Bright Olumese. Bishop, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Good morning. Good morning, viewers at home.
All right. Sitting very close to him, he is a vibrant youth, a political analyst, public affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Yemi, right?
Yeah.
Hope I got that name.
Thank you for having. Good morning, distinguished viewer. Munajomo Yemi.
All right. Thank you so much for making our time to be here.
Yeah.
All right. At my extreme left, he's a statistician, but when you talk about politics, he doesn't bring in statistics into politics, telling you the way he feels about issues in governance. And of course, he is the #1 man for the Benin Uniben
Senior Staff Club.
Senior Staff Club, yes. As a lecturer also at Uniben, Dr. Owen Olowo. Thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Good morning, Wisin. Good morning, viewers at home. Thank you for having me.
All right. 14 days plus, or will I say 16 days, isn't it? Today maybe 16 days or there, but if not more, I'm making a mistake, my calculation, that we have the new sheriff in town. And the person of distinguished Senator Monday Okpewolo, from the day he was sworn in, the day the government was inaugurated, this man hit the ground running. All right, he hit the ground running, and many persons are like impressed about what they are seeing. But some are worried. If you have just one particular system going straight forward without anything to check that particular person or government of the day, there'll be issues. There'll be serious, serious issues. Now, let me start off from you, Bishop. Taking a look at Edo State. After the election, it's like the ruling party, according to some persons, just went to sleep. That's what they are insinuating right now. As it stands right now, what some persons are saying, they don't think there will be effective opposition to this government, or at least put them in check on what they need to do. Maybe they want to, like, derail. Nobody will be there to scream and shout, say, hey, this is not the right way to go. Maintain status quo. What do you feel about that insinuation?
Okay, I want to say good morning once again, viewers at home. I want to congratulate the governor on the occasion of his inauguration and all that has been, started to do. But I don't think that insinuation is correct. Owing to the fact that Edo State has always set the pace when you talk about opposition. Go back from the days of Dan Obi, Shomole. If there was one nightmare Shomole had, was Dan Obi, and a constructive critics or critics opposition, playing the role of the opposition. And very just now, this is just 14 days running for this government. Most of their even when you see the groundbreaking flyover inauguration or laying of foundation or laying of the project, you see that the PDP came out to say that it's just to satisfy some godfathers and all of that. So the oppositions, the only thing I want to talk about is it's not about critics. Opposition is not about critics. The only problem we have in this part of the world is that most of our political parties are not running on ideology. So when you begin to speak outside ideology, it seems like you are making some unnecessary, trying to distract the man, the man at the center of the post. Because when you are coming to criticize a man, what solution are you providing? So if your party had not actually, sponsor something like, okay, these are ideology about the economy, these are ideology about security, these are ideology about education. So when the government on the power is going on that direction, when you begin to speak, people can see it as distraction. So that's the reason why you see opposition, checkmating the government of the day. Sometimes you see that they are being attacked. One of the things I want to bring here, to checkmate the government is not only given to political party, organized private sector, civil society organization can come up, because it's our state. If the government of the day do very well, the people we enjoy it. If they didn't do very well, the people are also the one that will feel it. So what I want to say next is that the role of critics in government helps the government to focus, help the government to sit tight, help the government not to derail from its programs and policy, because one thing about government has a lot of distraction. And sometimes some government will just be running on distraction, not facing on issues, and time will just be going. And this is where the opposition comes in. And I want to call on all the opposition party, the big party and other subsidiary parties.
Before we start calling on them, we'll have to go deep into the discussion.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you, Bishop Wright. Now, let me come to you and me. I believe that people have been talking about this because it's like there's this uneasy calm, so to speak, from the opposition political party, because in times of the election, they were so loud. People like doubting if they can be effective in taking the position of opposition to really checkmate the inefficiency of this new administration. Take it up from there.
Okay, to be frank and to be honest, is that what are the responsibility of any effective opposition party? Is to hold the ruling party accountable, especially if it's living up to their responsibility as a functional government. Understand? But let's come to think about it. Over time now, PDP has been having problems. You understand, because of different political skirmishes and the rest of them, and that also still contributes to their losing this election. You understand? But I think the opposition party could put his ass in order and hold their ground and maintain their position as an opposition, because you're supposed to hold the ruling party accountable and supposed to kind of profile solution, or maybe bring a kind of social constructive criticism in a way that could provide solution wherever you think the government is not doing right, and you understand, and also draw the public attention, you understand, to whatever government is not doing right. So I think the opposition in a way could leverage on that and put their acts in order and take up their responsibility very well as an opposition party.
They should take up the responsibility.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, they are not doing that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because of different factors, you understand. As it is now, the major party is in scrambles, they have internal fighting, and that really affected them, even going to the election, and you can see the outcome of the election for them, and they could not have their way, and you understand. So they have to put their ass in order and try to focus on the goal, and if they want to claim power, that is the only way to go. Because you must be united. A house divided against himself cannot stand.
Cannot stand.
Yeah.
All right. Doc Owen, do you share their views, or you have contrary? Because I know you are a man with contrary views. So, over now to you.
I'm really surprised
Yeah.
that we are expecting any form of opposition, like, I'm surprised that we still do not know that Nigeria is more or less a one-party state. I'm surprised that we still do not know that the Nigerian politicians are concerned about their stomach. I'm surprised that you don't even know that the oppositions that you are seeing, the counter, they talk to themselves, this one will say this one, there will be a counter claim and all that. I'm surprised that you don't know that it's a charade.
Charade?
Yeah, I'm surprised that you don't even know that these things will not even stand the test of time. I'm surprised that you are even worried that you are not seeing enough opposition. I'm surprised that you don't even realize that the PDP and the APC in Edo State, they are one. I'm surprised that you don't even know that just until 4 years ago, the people who are in PDP now were in APC and all that, many of them were in APC. I'm surprised that you don't even know that it was because the governor wanted a second term that made him to switch over to PDP. It was originally APC. I'm surprised that you are expecting a strong opposition from the PDP on the current government. You know, sometimes when I talk like this, I was talking somewhere, one platform that I belong to, and I was talking about the government of the day led by His Excellency Senator Monday Okpewolo and some of his some of the work he's currently doing, and they're going around, and then I can see some compassion in the man. You know, some compassion. I was talking and somebody said, look at you. Who were just preaching that you don't want the governor. This one. I said, yes, because I said that. Because I said the man does not know how to speak English. So it appears they want to give you position. When you speak the truth, sometimes people expect you to just remain rigid. When you see something good, I'm a free thinker. When I see something good from even somebody that has once criticized, I don't fail. Posterity will not forgive me if I don't come out to commend that person. When the governor, I did not vote for Monday Okpewolo. I have friends around me who were campaigning vigorously for him. I stood my ground that, I did not campaign seriously, like I did not take side. I was just maintaining neutrality because of my position where I was and all that. But at some point, I couldn't hold myself again. I had to break loose and all that. But then notwithstanding, I had my reservation about the man, about his being media shy, not coming out to the media, and even at some point, we even extended the invitation to him to come and have interactions with us and all that. About the man being media shy, I was opposed to that. And I was like, how can I vote for someone who does not want to interact with his people and all that? But now that the man has won, he's my governor. And then, I've come to realize that from what he is doing now, it is not really by talking, technically. The little things I have seen, that the little groundbreaking here, though it is still too early to start to say, to commend him as Ruru, as the case may be, it's still too early. But to be very honest with you, I think I saw him a few days ago. He was in one secondary school, dilapidated building, and then I could see passion, I could see compassion, I could see humanity. You know, from the way he was talking and from the way he was expressing himself.
So you could see compassion,
yes,
you could see humanity.
From the way he was talking about the state of some of the secondary schools, or the primary school he visited, and then those seats for children to sit in the 21st century Nigeria. So let's come back to the opposition. So when you talk like this, now they say, it appears these APC people have cornered. I am not looking for any political appointment. I'm a teacher, and I'm very happy with my job. All right, I'm not done. So as you see, for opposition, as the case may be, my brother, not expect too much so that you don't get disappointed. And besides,
too much opposition.
I must also tell you this. When you see a strong opposition in a state, in terms of political party, one party, because Nigeria is a one-party state. Just look at the recent.
No, you cannot say that Nigeria is a one-party.
Look at the Bawa. You know Bawa now?
Yes.
The man that was supposed to form a strong opposition against his government, that was the spokesman to Atiku Abubakar. The man has not had an appointment in this regime.
Buala.
Don't mind me. Buala has not had an appointment.
I'll come back to you on that.
So,
I'll come back to you. Now, he said he's surprised, and I don't know, of course we know that, that the members of the one's PDP are now members of one APC, and he said I shouldn't have so much hope in effective opposition, or else my heart will be broken. I mean, does it mean that opposition is dead right now in Edo State from what he said?
Okay, thank you, Wisin, and thank you, viewers at home again. I don't think I buy into what he said at all. what we are doing here, we are setting an agenda for the opposition. This democracy, the democracy is...
But he gave good examples,
Yes,
the reasons to back
yes,
his claim.
Yes, that's the reason why. Going forward, we're setting an agenda. That's why we're discussing this.
Yes.
That there is need for a constructive opposition. Do you get that right? So that the government of the day does not have free for all and the people suffer. So we are, if you are a leader, you are into politics, okay, this is where you find yourself now. Play it effectively. That's why we are here. We are saying that democracy, one of the components of democracy is that it's the government of the people, by the people, for the people. It's a government where the majority have their way, the minority have their say. Now we are saying that the minority should not keep quiet. The idea of this, what it is, the Bible says, shall we continue like this, that grace may abide? God forbid. If that is the, I also disagree that it's a one-party system. The last time we checked, over 16, 17 political party fielded governorship candidates in the last Edo state governorship election. Now we are making the demand on those governorship candidates. They shouldn't shy out. They must, if they had actually won, what would they have been doing now? They should call press conferences, address press conference by way of mounting pressure on government. Government don't listen to individual. Government respect pressure group. These people have followership. We saw them in their various campaigns. People were with them and all of that. This is the only way we can shape government. At the time one person sit there, the other sit there, and we're just talking. Insecurities are everywhere. I was telling somebody just now that last night we didn't sleep in our area, gunshot, the armed robber attacks, and all of that. So one individual voice may not be heard at all. But this government, so what we are here talking about, we're encouraging the role of the minority or the opposition to, they shouldn't sit back. The only problem we're having why the opposition seems like, okay, there's this dangling here and there, political business or whatever, because political parties don't run on ideology and all of that. People are just allowed to do what they are. We can't continue like that. So we are trying to say that we're making demand. We know that in all of this, there are still people who are firm. I know people who have never crossed carpets, who even have never won, have a fair share of eating government money because they've never won a big electric position. But they stayed in their ideology. They don't believe in what the other man is doing. They don't want to be associated with what they are doing. They don't want to be counted among the problem. Because when you sit now and count the problem of Nigeria from 1999, there are prominent names that will come up. Yes, when I was telling my little daughter the other day, the governor 1999, the governor who took over from the governor from 1999, and all of that, because we're going through a place, we saw a ditch, and a young girl of less than 12 was asking me, how did we get to this place? And I said, okay, the governor of Edo State 1999 is so person. The governor that took over was so person. The governor that took over was so person. Then she got to ask me a question. Why is it that this name didn't, why? I said, okay, there was court issue. That's why we have off-cycle election. So in other words, the problem, we could know people who are, vastly responsible. But now, what are we arguing here? What are we, the message we are sending out here is that there are opposition parties, because we have names of political parties. We are calling on the leaders of those opposition parties, rise up to the occasion.
All right.
Or resign.
Or resign.
Story.
You don't have the boy yet. Hold on. You said stories. Now, Dr. Olowo raised a point. He made a point that is so vital. He said the people that were once in APC, or in PDP rather, they are now in APC. And the ones that were once in APC are now in PDP. Because of this mixture, we might not have effective opposition like in the time of Senator Adams and Leo Shumole when he was a governor, and we have a Honorable Dan Obi always looking out for lapses and hitting it so hard that people will get to know what is going on. Do you think we'll see the likes of Dan Obi in this administration?
To be frank and to be honest, is that the government, when you see the central government is doing everything to kill opposition. Let's be honest, you understand. We play dirty politics in this country. And that's why we can't go forward. And that's why people will continue to suffer. We should tell ourselves the truth. Our leaders are not doing the right thing. And that's why we are here today. Ask yourself, Africa is so much rich and blessed, but we are one of the poorest continents today. You understand? So where are we going now? You understand? Just take what is going on today now. The opposition is powerless. They can come together, but who control the government? Who run the government? You understand? Because they use different kind of strategy. You understand? You see what VK is doing in PDP. You understand? A PDP member working for APC and working against PDP, and he's doing it openly. You understand? Come back to the state. We all know the disagreement that went between the governor and some other key people in this state. They worked against the governor. And those people now are
They worked against this governor, former governor.
Former governor.
All right.
And now those people are now in government. So what do you think they will do? They will never let you to get any sustainable point to push them out. Because whether you like it or not, politics is all about interest, especially in Africa. You understand? Especially in Africa. Politics is all about grab. They don't care about the people, and that's why the people are suffering. And that's why the people are going to suffer. You see the other day, people were protesting about the government policy. People are dying, people are hungry, people are suffering, you understand? But what would the government do? Send police and army to brutalize your own people that are protesting for their fundamental rights. Let's tell ourselves today, Nigeria is gradually going into a totalitarian state, whereby government controls everything. That's where we are going to. We cannot deceive ourselves, because this is what we are seeing. And if we do not address the issue by coming out to all government responsible for their action, definitely to be free for us. But one thing these leaders are forgetting, they are forgetting the past. PDP was once there. They did all these things. APC is doing it now. They should not forget that they will never be there forever. So they have to run government the way government is supposed to run. Give the people sense of empathy, show love, show empathy, show simplicity, show compassion to the people, because that is the only way you could build an inclusive society. Whether you're an opposition party, whether you belong to this, you have to draw everybody together, because you are the governor, you run the state, you are father of all. And what is the primary responsibility of any responsible government? Protection of life and provision of citizenry welfare. You understand?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I will come back to you. You spoke at length by talking about the situation that we currently are facing. Now, let me go to Dr. Owen. You get to realize that during the time of Dan Obe, I believe PDP was in power in different levels. So it was like, unlimited amount of resources flowing in to sustain the opposition. But right now, the opposition, so to speak, ought to be the PDP in Edo State, but they're not the ones at the federal. So the opposition must need finance to function. They must need money to function, to make all the media noise, to make all the social media noise, to go out with their cameras, logistics and all that. Some are saying, since these guys are not in power in federal and of course in the state level, it is going to be very, very difficult to form an effective opposition. After all, if you are talking about effective opposition, there must be stomach infrastructure. There must be logistic. If they don't have this, we should forget about effective opposition in Edo State. What do you have to say about this assertion?
Yes, before I respond to your question, let me correct an impression. I'm no longer a senior lecturer.
Okay.
I'm an associate professor.
Associate Prof.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Associate Prof. Owen.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
All right.
The average Nigerian is a coward.
What did you say?
The average Nigerian, including me and you seated on this discourse table, we are all cowards. That's why we'll continue to suffer.
Please explain more.
We are too fearful. We are too afraid. We love our lives so much. How many of, when they call for protest, say, come and protest? Many of us here who are seated on this table may not come out. There's the big people, the people who are suffering, because they are afraid, they are fearful for their lives. Oh, so we say, oh, I'm still young, I'm not had any, I'm not married. I'm not married yet. You know, I don't have children. We have one excuses why we don't want to participate in these things. The ones that have children say, oh, my children are still very young, I don't want to die and leave them. That is why, if you look at the Middle East and all that, there are things that their leaders cannot take them for granted. Because if you do anything you see, those people don't even care about their lives. They are ready. Look at what happened in one of these countries where they went to the presidential villa and the president, I forgot, is it 80 or which country? Where the president left the presidential villa. He ran away when he saw mob, as in crowd of people.
Those Bangladesh is of that nature.
Bangladesh, or what, I don't want to go to the name, but it was recently in the news. They came out en masse, and if you see people, my brother, those people were ready to give up their life for their country. But in this country, we are not ready. That's why we will continue to suffer. That is why our leaders will continue to take us for granted, because all of us who are suffering are cowards, including me and you. I'm not excusing myself. Now back to your question about.
Anyway, we are not cowards. We speak
all of us are cowards. We are too fearful.
We speak truth to power.
Coward is not an insult. Coward means you are fearful. You are fearful. It's not an insult. So when I say you are a coward, I'm not insulting you. I'm only telling you the state that you are. Back to opposition. Now you talked about the strength of Danobi when he was opposing Oshomole and all that. When you see an effective opposition in a state, that opposition is being bankrolled from outside the state. It's bankrolled from outside the state. Even though Danobi, when Obaseki was in his first term as a governor, Danobi was also on his neck as APC, you know. Then it was Buhari that was in power now. It was bankrolled from somewhere in the south now. Don't you know? The man that is now a thorn in the flesh, a thorn in the flesh of the PDP. That is neither here nor there. The man who is dining on both sides, who does not want to let go. So when you see an effective opposition in a state, that opposition is being bankrolled from outside. Because why? These people who are opposing, who are on the opposition, you will soon start to see people cross-carpeting. That is if they have not started already. People, during the inauguration, before the inauguration, when APC was declared winner of the governorship election in this state, I saw a video of our respected elder statesman, our former governor of this state, now Senator Adams Aliyu Oshomole, was telling somebody and said, don't come here, don't come here, don't come here. The inauguration has not even been done yet. They just announced that the person has won election. People have started going, that place has become a maker of some sort. That they're going to. Our politicians are interested. Many, I'm not saying all, because by what Bishop here said, there are a few politicians who have remained in their party.
And it's true.
And Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of such persons who remained in his party until he clinches onto power. Many of these politicians that we have, they are concerned about their stomach. Will you blame them? We will blame them. The government, as the government not impoverish all of us and turn all of us into beggars, such that we look up like to be expecting food. Look at the countries where we borrow democracy from. The countries where we borrow democracy from. You see the people they are. You have had in the US, for instance, e.g., you have had initially it was Republican in Donald Trump. Biden came. Then now he's not Republican again. Biden is Democrat, Republican. Those people there, they have all the welfare packages, they have everything the government is providing for them, they have everything working for them. So there is nothing you are going to use to undo them against their wish. They express themselves freely. But here, because of the poverty, and many of our politicians, many, I'm not saying all, they are career politicians, they don't have any other business besides politics. So once they're not in power, they need to pay bills, my brother. All right. They need to pay bills. They need to pay bills. Yes, now. So what are you saying? Yeah,
hold on now. Who will go for everybody? Word. Coward. Come on.
All of us are cowards.
Come on. We'll be right back. Don't go. We'll be right back.
TMI. Every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the place of effective opposition. Of course, the comment coming out from the mouth of my guests, some of them are like, seriously? And someone said, we say you're a coward. It's not an insult. It's because it's telling your state of mind. Now, you are too fearful, and many Nigerians are in this particular category or situation, so to speak. Now, let me come to you, Bishop. Talk about bankrolling opposition. Like what you mentioned, there was a man really standing behind Honorable Dan Obi. You understand, during the time of Oshomole, yes, it was the PDP administration. And when they switched to APC, Buhari was in charge, there was a man in the South, Fine River State, that it was alleged that it was the one bankrolling, you know, Honorable Dan Obi to maintain the federal position in Edo State. But right now, that same man, that same character is neither here nor there. Some are saying that people in the PDP in those states, they're neither here nor there. After all, there is this coalition, so to speak, between these two parties to bring in or to vote in massively for our beloved governor, distinguished Senator Monday Okpebolo. Putting that into the picture, do you think PDP stand a chance of effectively opposing this government if they are not doing the right thing for Edo people?
Okay, first of all, most Nigerians are not coward, we're not afraid. We speak only that you have a system where you speak from here till next year. They don't listen to you. Okay, having also established that, coming to your question, the issue of bankrolling, that has been the biggest problem we have in Nigeria politics. I also want to tell you, Nigerians, we have not done really bad when you talk about the, democracy of many developed continents. If you go to America today, who have over 200 something years democracy, their beginning was so terrible. They had sitting president assassinated and all of that. So, in other words, we're not getting to that extent here. We are evolving. And where we are evolving, the way we are evolving, we're about getting it right. Now, this has been my argument. Most of people who are, I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party.
I know.
Now,
neither any of you.
Most of the issues I have with people who are card-carrying members, they don't pay dues. You sit there, you say you're a member of a political party.
They don't pay dues.
You don't pay dues. Now, you not allow one person to sponsor the party. When the person, he that pays the piper, they pays it too. So that is the problem. So now we want to see that the critical committee PDP of Edo State, we want to call. That's the reason why we're here, to encourage the opposition party to play their role against bankrolling, because the PDP is suffering today. Nationally, there is no opposition party, so to say, because if you ask me very just now, if they are to fit candidates, the PDP nationally will be tempted to endorse the city president, because the man who they allow to sponsor the party for a long period of time wants to, he has paid for it, so he's holding the party so strong. So now what this is taking us to, a situation whereby people will now be allowed to own the political party. But when you are a due-paying member of a political party, you have right to demand, you have right to own, you have right to suggest, you have right to kick against. You can't be there, you are not contributing anything, you are just there, and you want to now have your word to be heard. That things does not work like that. In any part of the world, people they play contributing political system in other parts of the world. So what I want to say next is that what is happening is good for us. We are evolving. A time is going to come, we're going to have a system that has no bankrolling, that will be forced by the voice of reasoning, which what we are doing now. Most of the opposition parties are listening. That look, the Edolite wants to see the kind of opposition that Dan Obi had put. I don't know whether he was bankrolled. You are the one saying that.
I'm asking the question. Yes,
there was nothing like context. I don't want to.
Don't quote.
What I want to say now is that I don't even want to know whether there was bankrolling.
Yes.
If it's there, that so be it. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that opposition party were making a demand of you guys. This is because that was how Dan Obi was able to take back the state. Remember, through those heavy critics of government. And the way he was getting his facts, he will bring vouchers out, call a press conference, and the government in power didn't contest it in court, so it makes it look like he and
they were surprised.
So now, when they did the election, then he clinched the senatorial seat.
the House of Rep and did very well. So the opposition party right now, if you want to bounce back, be relevant.
Be relevant.
Be relevant.
All right. All right. I'll come back to you, Bishop. Please don't quote me out of context. I'll ask you the question. All right, let me come to you. Effective opposition. As it stands right now, the studios look a little bit murky when you talk about politics. There's no clear cut between APC and PDP, EAME. Do you think that would be a factor to look into, knowing fully well that we have, I want to put it now, armed force individual, they are here and there? I mean, because that's what people like saying, so it's like, confusing. Please take it up from there.
And to be frank and to be honest, is that whether you like it or not, you know the kind of politics we play, you understand? It's money politics, stomach politics. So how can you get an effective opposition? The only way you can get an effective opposition in this case now is for the opposition to put their house in order. You understand? In a way that, okay, fine, what is dividing us? Let's come together. The major party now, as it is now, the PDP, nationally, they are divided. Then you're talking about the state. The state is just a sub-fraction, a sub-region, you understand? So you see, the problem is more complex and dynamic in a way, you understand? So, but if we take our own case here, our case is different because our politicians are after their own interests, what they can get. Like what my co-discussant said. They just announced someone that won the election. You see people start
cross-carpeting,
changing direction. Start changing direction. That tells you that. They're after what they can get. Our party is not run by ideology or run by manifesto, and that is what is killing us. And for us to make a kind of egalitarian society or a kind of a state that will be more okay and sustainability, you have to have an ideology. You understand? And if you take our context here, if you take where we are today now, it's like we're in a transition democracy. We are not yet a kind of consolidated democracy because if you see, most of the institutions are easily manipulated and most of the institutions are weak. You understand? And whereby you see, whereby the executive is trying to capturing the legislature, even trying to capture the judiciary. So you cannot get an effective system like that. But the people must rise up because it is the people's responsibility and challenge to hold government accountable and to take and to put them on their toes to do the right thing. Because that's the only way we can get an effective system. Because whether you like it or not, for you to get an effective opposition, the opposition must do the right thing, and the institution must be ready to work for the generality of the society. Not by saying, because this person is the president, you understand, you subjected all the functionality to, you're subjecting all the functionality to this person and ascribing it, you understand? Like most of our institutions are weak, most of them are failing.
All right.
Let's be honest. So how can we get a better opposition, a better society that we all aspire to get to be? So,
wow. Interesting. We're about to commence our descent on this discussion because it stands right now. For all you've been saying, aside Bishop encouraging the opposition, it's like two of you are just saying, no hope, no hope opposition.
Because are setting in place now.
Okay, you said
I will talk now.
Please talk now.
I just, on your news bar,
yes,
I saw that they say Bianca Ojukwu is still a member of ABGA, despite ministerial appointment by the APC.
So,
1 minute.
Okay.
Wike, His Excellency, with all due respect, Wike of Rivers State, is still a member of the PDP, despite ministerial appointment by the APC government. My brother, we are just pretending. You see, that is the problem. When you speak through, people don't like you. I mean, I don't even care. Whether you like me or not, so long as I know I've spoken my mind. We cannot have effective opposition like this. And funny enough, the government of the day is even not helping matters. They are hell bent in ensuring that the opposition is crippled. all the crises in the opposition parties, in PDP, in Labour Party that we have had in the past, who do you think was behind them?
No, you are alleging or you are insinuating. What are you doing right now?
I'm asking the question, who do you think? I didn't say anybody was.
Okay.
There was one Apapa. Remember Apapa from the Labour Party? That man was so energetic. Do you think that man was energetic for nothing? Do you think that man was opposing to cause problem in the Labour Party? He was.
Someone was bankrolling him.
I am not. You are the one that is.
Okay, now are you alleging that
I am just making. I'm just talking. Okay. If you like insinuate, what to insinuate. Apapa, do you see that old man that was looking very wretched? What do you think that man was getting the energy from to fight the fight that he was fighting? Let me tell you, if you want to make progress in this country, it is simple. We know. All of us know the solution to the problem, but we're all pretending as if we don't know. That's it, sir. One, we must make, pattern is, politics is too lucrative. Politics is too lucrative in this country. Politics is too lucrative. We must make politics less lucrative. Yes, yeah. And again, too, somebody who does not have a functional business should not be in politics.
You must have something doing.
Yes, you must have something doing. No, we don't have anybody, no one like career politician. That are a career politician, they don't have their own business. See, until you have people who are stable, who have their personal, who have their business or their business. They shouldn't come and be vying for positions where because you want to lay your hands on the Commonwealth patrimony, then you squander it. This thing is going to be an issue of legislation. Legislation. Right. Wait 1 minute, please. Legislation.
We have to move on to Lagos right now.
Wait, legislation, eh?
Yes.
We have to come up with laws to stop cross-carpeting.
It's not a crime to cross-carpet.
No, it is.
Okay,
no,
after even victory or what?
No. If you are in one party, like card carrying member of one party, like my bishop said here, how can a party function without people paying dues to the party?
Good question.
Many of us, even in private practice or outside, we have professional bodies, we are members. Many of us don't even pay our dues. How do you expect the dues to function? So there must be a matter of legislation. See, against cross-carpeting. If you cross-carpet, you lose your seat. Yeah. I know it's there. We should implement it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just continue like this. And
Associate Prof, please watch your emotions. Calm down. We have to move on to Lagos.
Pretending here.
Thank you. Well, you've heard them. Bishop, I know you have so much to say, but I have to go back to Lagos right now. But I'm going to give you just 30 seconds to encourage the opposition. 30 seconds. What word do you have for them? Okay. What about advice?
These are my advices. The opposition should not be carried away. In nation building, after politics, we come to governance.
All right.
If your member of your political party is handpicked by the ruling party because of what he can do, that shouldn't scatter your political party.
All right.
That person is not an executive member. Wike is not the chairman of PDP, he's not a secretary of PDP, he's not a spokesperson of PDP. Do you get that right? So that
whether he's a member of PDP,
he's a member of PDP.
Okay.
Whether he was taking should not affect the running or the press conference.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Bishop. I know you will have so much to say, but our time is up.
Who's even listening to us?
Millions are listening. They are watching. You get the feedback because you know what? I do get feedback on a regular basis. Thank you, gentlemen.
In Abuja, I was told by someone that I saw something on ITV.
Okay, I know.
People who are empowered, they don't listen to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, you've heard them. Really, millions are watching. We get feedback every day, same per seconds. Like Wilson, we know what you guys are doing. We are watching. Nice job. Or what do you say about our party? You belong to this party. All these guests, they don't belong to any political party. They are not card-carrying members of any political party. I did that intentionally. Nobody say you have PDP or APC. No, let them speak their mind from the standpoint of the populace.